And we are back with Rebecca Volpano, VP of Product Marketing with Cielo.
So in 2016, I remember Adam Godson giving me a call and talking about this new technology that he was with Cielo.
Yep.
He was over a product at Cielo. This new product that would keep candidates pretty warm for the most part. Not just scheduling, number one, and then also keeping them warm because you're having drop-off rates for clients. Back in 2016, 8 years ago.
Yep.
Now he's the CEO of Paradox. Today, that was 8 years ago. Why isn't that standard today? We still have high drop-off rates for especially the high volume side of the house. Why is that not standard fare for every company today? Why isn't that just a part of the fabric of the tech stack that they have?
That's a great question, and probably one that actually kind of keeps Cielo in business, if I'm honest, because to your point, I mean, I started at Cielo 10 years ago, and we were at the forefront of tech, and a lot of that is, credit to Adam and obviously our founder, Sue Marks, but we were always pushing the envelope and the agenda with new and innovative ways to keep candidates engaged. And to your point, I mean, we still see that today. We're now talking generative AI, but there are absolutely clients that we have that are still working to adopt machine learning and other components of a tech stack. So I hope that with generative AI, we do get to a point where it's made easier for everyone. And you do see organizations really taking that leap of faith and getting themselves into the tech space. But yeah, for Paradox and for Cielo, for sure, it's great that we can provide technology to help those organizations because keeping candidates warm should be table stakes.
So how do you not work yourself out of a job? Which pretty much the next question is, does Cielo go? Because you guys have been evolving a lot lately.
We have been evolving a lot lately. And I think we're really trying to figure out, what does recruiting look like in the future? Marissa.
Everybody's trying to.
Yeah. Yeah, if we all only had a magic crystal ball. Marissa Geist, our CEO, she has a podcast where she's talking about what work looks like in 2050. And so I think for us, the road that we're on, the path that we continue to pave is just really one shaped with curiosity and trying to make sure that we're staying ahead of the curve and that we're writing our own narrative. So when it comes to generative AI, we want to be in control of how we're using it and not that it's dictated to us how it can be used. So in terms of working ourselves out of a job, I think we're going to be around for quite some time. And I'm excited to see how our partnerships evolve over the next few years, because I think there's going to be a lot of attention and focus around getting technology more embedded in large organizations.
Always in search of that elusive anti-ghosting magic that we all are. Well, now that we're talking about how old we all are, Gen Z is now coming into the fold, and we're hearing more anecdotes around they don't like the automation. They like the human side of it. So tell me what you guys are seeing in regards to recruiting younger workers and sort of their tastes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a drive for face-to-face and human connection from Gen Z, which is great to see personally. I think it's almost the pinnacle of what we want recruitment to be. I think the automation is absolutely critical, but it's automating the pieces that are behind the scenes that surprise and delight the human interaction. So if we can free recruiters and candidates up for a more meaningful face-to-face conversation, which is, one of the reasons that we choose to automate, I think that we're going to have much better hiring outcomes. I hope that we see ghosting go down and retention go up because we're focusing more on the human elements and less on the administrative pieces.
So talk about that. You have a pretty large portfolio of companies, right, that are clients. And they do tons of hiring, or you help them, you facilitate that. So talk about how you are currently helping companies lead them into the age of AI.
So when we go into a new partnership, we do an assessment of where they're at today and what their business goals are. And then we generally put together a 5-year roadmap that says, okay, this is going to be version 1. And depending on where they're at, version 1 could be table stakes of keeping candidates warm, or it could be let's jump right into generative AI. So we want to make sure that we're prescribing a very tailored plan so that they know, okay, Cielo is going to be with me every step of the way, and I know what to expect at each of these key milestones. So that's really our first and goal, is to just say, like, what does the current state look like, and how do we get to where they want to be?
So real quick, talk about the most progressive company.
One of our clients, they're in the pharmaceutical space, medical device space, and they're constantly asking us, like, what do you have? Like, what else can we take on? And so they've been a really great one to partner with, because they are generally up for anything. And when you have one of your largest clients who's global and they have, a lot at stake, willing to just kind of jump in and get their hands dirty with you, it's really fun.
So what are they doing?
So we're leveraging generative AI with them. We use a tool that we've built called Cielo Source and Engage. And so basically what we do is we've automated essentially all of the sourcing workflow, the finding of the talent, getting them into the pipeline. We're doing hyper-personalized engagement sequences.
External and internal, with their internal database and external database? How many touch points do you have at this with Engage?
Yeah, so right now it's just external.
Okay.
We're going to be building an internal component of that, so we can kind of do talent rediscovery. Really, we're focusing on the engagement sequence. So the hyper-personalization of reaching out to a candidate. We know that we can find, I know I mentioned this already, but we can find basically everyone online. Mm-hmm. We have the capability to do that. It's when do we reach out to them, and what is the message? Getting the right message to the right person at the right time is the critical
Hyper-personalization.
It is. It can't just be dear first name and then a standard email that goes out to every single person, regardless of time zone, on a schedule. It really has to be, when am I most likely to reach Chad when he's looking for a new role?
So you're using generative AI to write those up?
Yep.
And then how do you know time-wise? I mean, there's got to be a sweet spot of knowing that.
Yeah, so that's a great example of how we use all of our hiring data and historical information on when our campaigns opened. If they're sent on this day or at this time, we have a higher open rate. So we leverage all of that type of data to really drive the right engagement sequence with each individual.
Nice.
That is Rebecca Volpano, VP of Product Marketing at Cielo. Rebecca, for our viewers who want to know more about you or connect with the company, where do you send them?
Yeah, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to continue this conversation.
Love it. And that is Volpano, like volcano. Chad, that is another one in the can. We out.